Can three world-class musicians overcome the one challenge that no amount of talent can completely solve? The 50-something tour is already one of the most anticipated rock events in years. Fans know the songs, fans know the history, and fans know exactly what Rush represents. But as excitement continues to build, one question keeps surfacing across the rock community. Can Geddy, Lifeson, and Anika Nilles carry the enormous weight of expectation that comes with performing this music live? Before we dive in, if you love classic rock, legendary musicians, and the stories behind the music, make sure you subscribe because we've got a lot more coming. This tour isn't simply another reunion-style celebration. For many fans, it's a chance to reconnect with music that helped define their lives. That's what makes the challenge so unique. The audience isn't just buying tickets for a concert. They're bringing decades of memories, emotions, and expectations into every venue. And expectations have rarely been higher. Rush built a reputation for precision, complexity, and consistency. Every note mattered. Every performance was measured against an incredibly high standard. Now, after years away from the road, that standard remains exactly where it has always been. The challenge isn't proving that these musicians are talented. The challenge is proving that the magic people remember can still exist in front of a live audience. And when you look at the songs waiting to be performed, the size of that challenge becomes impossible to ignore. If the biggest challenge on the 50-something tour is meeting expectations, that challenge becomes even greater when you look at the music itself. Rush didn't build its reputation on simple three-chord rock songs. Over 5 decades, Geddy, Lifeson, and Nilles created one of the most demanding catalogs in rock history. Songs like Tom Sawyer, YYZ, La Villa Strangiato, and Subdivisions aren't just fan favorites, they're musical tests that have challenged musicians for generations. And that's where the pressure begins. Every Rush fan knows these songs almost note for note. Many have spent decades listening to live recordings, studio albums, and concert films. The audience already knows exactly how these songs are supposed to feel. Then there's the reality of Nilles' legacy. No serious Rush fan expects anyone to become Nilles. His combination of technical ability, creativity, and musical intelligence was unique. But every performance of Rush's music naturally invites comparison to the standards he helped establish. That's not unfair criticism. It's simply the reality of playing songs that have become part of rock history. For Anika Nilles, the challenge isn't replacing Nilles. It is honoring the music while bringing her own strengths to it. For Geddy and Alex, it's returning to songs that demand extraordinary precision night after night. And as rehearsals turn into performances, another challenge starts to emerge. Because mastering the songs is only part of the equation. The real test is whether 3 musicians can develop the chemistry necessary to make this music feel alive in the moment, exactly the way Rush fans expect it to feel. And that brings us to what may be the most important challenge of all: chemistry. Great bands are not simply collections of talented musicians. They're relationships built over time, their instincts, their split-second decisions made without a word being spoken. And for decades, one of Rush's greatest strengths was the almost telepathic connection between Geddy, Lifeson, and Nilles. That kind of connection isn't created overnight. The 50-something tour places enormous pressure on everyone involved. Geddy and Alex aren't just revisiting songs from their past. They're stepping back into an environment where every performance will be watched, discussed, and analyzed by one of the most passionate fan bases in music. At the same time, Anika Nilles faces the challenge of helping drive a live show built around some of the most demanding material ever written for a rock stage. The technical side is difficult enough, but live performance is about far more than technical accuracy. It's about trust. It's about knowing exactly where the music is headed before it gets there. It's about creating those moments where an audience forgets they're watching individual musicians and starts experiencing a band. And that's what fans will ultimately be looking for. Not perfection, not a note-for-note recreation of the past, but evidence that the spirit that made Rush special can still be felt on stage. Because once the lights come on and the first song begins, the audience won't be judging individual performances. They'll be asking one question: does this feel like the real thing? And the answer to that question may determine how the entire 50-something tour is remembered. So, can the biggest challenge facing Geddy, Lifeson, and Anika Nilles actually be overcome? The answer is yes, but perhaps not in the way some people expect. The success of the 50-something tour will not be measured by whether every note perfectly recreates a concert from decades ago. It will be measured by whether the music still creates the same sense of excitement, wonder, and connection that made Rush one of the most respected bands in rock history. Because the truth is, no band can travel backward in time. What they can do is bring decades of experience, passion, and musicianship onto a stage and create something meaningful for the people who came to celebrate it. And maybe that's what makes this tour so fascinating. It's not a competition against the past. It's a chance to prove that great music can continue evolving while still honoring where it came from. The songs remain legendary, the expectations remain enormous, and the spotlight has never been brighter. But if there's one thing Rush's history has taught us, it's that challenges have never scared these musicians away. In many ways, overcoming impossible expectations has always been part of the story. Now the stage is set. The fans are waiting. And soon, the world will find out whether the 50-something tour becomes another unforgettable chapter in the Rush legacy. Because in rock music, moments like this are rare. They don't come with guarantees, only with risk, pressure, and expectation. And yet, that's exactly what makes them powerful. When legends return to the stage, they're not just performing songs, they're reliving history in real time, under a new light, with a new purpose. And for the fans watching, it becomes more than a concert. It becomes a shared memory being created all over again. What do you think? Can Geddy, Lifeson, and Anika Nilles rise to the challenge and deliver a tour that lives up to decades of expectation? Let us know in the comments below. We are building a community here for pure rock traditionalists and drum enthusiasts who care about how the music is actually made. Hit subscribe and join the Legend crew so you never miss our deep dives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.